I want to quickly talk to you about the law of success for tax lawyers. Okay, so if you are a tax attorney and you want to really be successful, either as a new tax attorney or as an existing one, you want to apply the law of success that I want to share with you into this conversation. So let me first give you an overview here. If you think about the law of success for tax lawyers, you have to understand that the industry is changing all the time. You have regulations, you have new regulations, you have old regulations actually changing. So you have a pretty active industry. So in that context, you got to have the right strategy, you got to have the right systems, and you got to have also the right approach. And one of the right approaches when it comes to tax law firm management is to actually leverage legal technology for efficiency. So legal technology is changing all the time, and you gotta really think about things like case management systems, document automation, time tracking software to actually streamline your operation. So the very law of success for tax lawyers revolves around the technology, the legal technology that you currently have. Okay, because that technology will constitute the backbone for your firm. And so, if you want to be a successful tax lawyer, for instance, you got to have the right technology, the right tech to just manage, not just manage your firm, but also scale it. Okay, scale it in terms of maybe let's say handling 100 clients versus 1,000 task clients, or or even 10,000 task clients. Right? It's all about having the right tools. For example, when I say case management software, here I'm speaking about a type of tool that allows your tax law firm to actually like to track cases, deadlines, and communications all in one place, reducing the risk of missed tasks. And you know that clients care about missed they care about tasks being handled within the deadline. Okay, when I say document automation can help you reduce time spent on repetitive tasks for your tax clients. Okay, so your tax attorneys can focus on higher value work. And time tracking software obviously can help you big time in terms of ensuring that billable hours are captured without adding administrative burden, because you do not want to have like extra work. You want to generate extra revenue, but you do not want to generate extra work. The second law of success for tax lawyers has to revolve around building an online presence. You have to understand, tax law is a pretty competitive space. I think I've said this before. And this is not just nationally, but also locally. So if you don't have an online presence, if you don't have a strong online presence, you'll be losing on a lot of things. Number one, when you have an online presence, you're getting traffic. You're getting free traffic from Google. Okay, you don't have to really spend on search engine marketing or PPC ads, pay per click ads. You don't have to really invest in ads unless you want to, unless you have the budget for it. You can actually, with the right approach, you can be getting leads organically. You can be getting visitors to your website organically. So when I say building an online presence, it's not just about having a website for your tax law firm. Of course, having a website is kind of cool. It's going to help you establish your presence. That's really good. But once you have a presence, you got to really make sure that you pay attention to making sure that the blog, for instance, if you have a blog, is actually SEO optimized. So you want to have search engine optimization. So your site has to be optimized. You want to understand that your content is going to show, is going to reflect, is going to help you be credible. Okay? It's going to help you when it comes to credibility. It's going to establish you as a thought leader in the specific niche that you are in. Okay, so if you are a tax lawyer, you want to really, tax law is actually a pretty wide area. You can focus, for instance, on corporate law, corporate tax law. You can say, I'm only doing corporate taxes. I'm only helping clients file their 1120S, their 1120, their 1065, or other similar forms. Or you can say, I'm only doing individual taxation. Okay, so I have clients Form 1040. They're Form 1040. So you have to see, or I'm doing both. Okay. So that's for search engine optimization. You also want to really have a social media engagement. So part of building an online presence means that you want to have active social media pages. It can be social media pages, it can be social media accounts, whatever it is. It has to be active. So simply having a page on Facebook and having that page actually sit there and die, it's not going to cut it, right? It's not going to. It's not about just having a social media presence in terms of, oh, okay, I'm just here. I just have an account and the account is sitting there and the account is lethargic. No, you have an account and you have to feed that account. You have to feed content into that account. You have to keep that account active. And also, you want to really have a strategy around content marketing overall in terms of blogs, blog articles, in terms of videos, podcasting, infographics, and so on and so forth. The third law of success for tax law firms revolves around client experience. If you want to be a successful tax law firm, your client experience has to be seamless. Your client experience has to be straightforward. Has to be enjoyable, not only for yourself, for your staff, but also for the client. See, the thing is that the client experience actually, it's not just about having a user-friendly portal, client portal. It's not just about, no, it's everything. From the time somebody contacts you, from the time somebody reaches out to your tax law firm, to the time you actually deliver their tax return or deliver whatever they called you for, the whole experience has to be streamlined. The whole experience has to be enjoyable. The whole experience has to be seamless. Okay, that's what you want. That's what's going to make you a successful tax law firm. So, your client experience actually has different facets. Okay, your client experience actually will revolve around client portals, your client portal, but also secure messaging, how you interact with clients, how you actually talk to them, how you share data, how they share data with you. Okay, and so it's important if you want to improve your client experience, you have to constantly be in a position where you are seeking feedback from your team, seeking feedback from the clients themselves, seeking feedback also from regulators. I mean, from authorities, and see, okay, is your firm actually complying with tax regulations the right way? Not only at the state level, but also at the local level, but also at the federal level. Okay, so that's an important element to really think about. Another law of success for tax lawyers has to revolve around data-driven decision. Okay, so the thing here is that if you are able to, like, your decision making has to be has to be steeped into data. You can't just make random decisions. If you want your tax law firm to be successful, you have to base your decision on data, especially advanced data analytics. It can be deep learning. It can be artificial intelligence, AI. Okay, and so when it comes to using data, you want to track things like client acquisition cost, your CAC, your case outcomes, and also the billable hours. Another law of success for tax lawyers has to revolve around expanding your practice areas. Okay, so when I say diversifying your practice areas, I'm speaking about you being in a constant battle, in a constant mode of making sure you have the right solutions for your clients. You want to identify emerging markets. You want to target untapped markets. It's all about you being on the lookout for where your rivalry, your opposition is now looking at. Okay, because if you are in a very competitive tax niche, I mean, by definition, the tax law niche is very competitive because you're not just getting competition from tax lawyers. Yeah, that's the thing. You're not getting competition from tax lawyers. You're getting competition from also CPAs. You're getting competition from EAs, so enrolled agents. So you have a niche where your law background is not the only thing that counts anymore. Okay, clients, when they have problems, they can just go to a CPA and not even go to a tax lawyer. So what value are you bringing to the table? What value are you adding? What's your value added? So the possibilities are endless, and for you to actually shine, you have to actually you have to target untapped markets. You have to identify emerging markets, and you have to always be on the move. And you also want to think about marketing and business development strategies. So, one law of success for tax lawyers, especially in this economy, has to revolve around marketing. Okay. So, when I say marketing, don't just think about your traditional idea of marketing here. No, marketing has to go beyond like advertising or branding. So, when I say marketing, you can think about networking for your tax law firm. Try to make sure that you acquire clients through networking. Okay. So you can build relationships with other professionals and attending industry. You can also attend industry events so you can generate referrals. You can also think about content marketing. So you want to write, I think I've said this before, but you want to write educational blog posts, articles, and white papers, infographics, and so on and so forth. So you can position your firm, your tax law firm, as a thought leader in its areas of expertise. And you also want to think about email marketing. So when it comes to marketing and business development strategies, think about email marketing so you can try to stay in touch with past clients and leads through newsletters and targeted campaigns so you can nurture relationships and generate new business. For instance, around November, December, before the tax law starts, sorry, the tax season starts in January, you can send an email, or you can send newsletters, very informative newsletters, to make sure that clients think of your firm ahead of time. Also, another law of success for tax lawyers has to revolve around scaling. You want to think about scaling your law firm, your tax law firm operations. And when I say scaling, it's not just about expanding the physical space that you have, maybe having new offices or extra no, or hiring new people. No, it goes way beyond that. So it's not about just if you want to be a successful tax lawyer, you have to think deeply about automation. You have to think deeply about process streamlining. So when I say automation, I'm not just talking about using tools such as artificial intelligence to replace a few things. No, automation goes way beyond that. Automation really stands for, like, automation will help you look at your billing, for instance, your document management, your other manual processes, so you can reduce manual work. That's the whole thing. Automation goes after reducing manual work and improving efficiency. And when I say streamlining processes, you want to make sure that you are able to handle more cases, more tax law cases, without compromising quality. Okay. So, especially with your team, if you want to scale, the scalability goes through process streamlining. And you also want to hire and retain top clients. So, retain, like recruitment is a fundamental law of success for tax lawyers. So a little earlier, I told you that as a tax lawyer, you're not just getting competition from CPAs and EAs, among others. You're getting competition from like regular accountants. Regular accountants that have a little knowledge about taxes. Okay, especially if your client taxes are not really that complex. People don't need to have a CPA or JD to actually solve the case, or even LLM in taxation. But you can hire and retain top talent to complement your JD. So if in your team you want to have folks who have a LLM in taxation, JD, CPAs, you want to have a variety of backgrounds. That's going to help you actually shine in the market. Okay. So when it comes to hiring and retaining top clients, think about competitive compensation, think about professional development opportunities, and think about a positive work culture. Right? You want to have that because you want to retain, you want to attract, and you want to retain the top talents across the board. You want folks to come You want folks to be willing to come to you and actually accept staying at your firm. So those are the top 6 or 7 or 8 laws of success for tax lawyers. Let me close to this conversation by giving you a few extras. So if you're listening to me and you're not a tax lawyer yet, and you're curious about what tax lawyers do, or you're curious about the industry as a whole, or you're curious about trends, you're curious about revenue prospects. Let me quickly define for you what I'm speaking about. So, what does a tax attorney really do? You might be thinking, well, I think I know, but you'll be really surprised. So, a tax attorney has a wide range of responsibilities, okay? Whether he or she works for a law firm, an accounting firm, or is a solo practitioner. That's why I said to you a little earlier that a tax lawyer can be a CPA, can be an LLM in taxation, can be a tax lawyer, a JD in taxation, or it can be an EA, an enrolled agent. So, tax attorneys' main priorities are to help clients navigate the complex world of tax laws and regulations. Okay, in other words, to ensure ongoing compliance while maximizing their benefits. Right. So you have tax lawyers actually they intervene at 2 levels, at the state level, but also at the federal level. So attorneys specializing in law, in tax law, are often called upon to represent clients in disputes with tax authorities, including the IRS. And this can involve anything from responding to an audit notice to fighting a tax assessment in court. Okay. So, thanks to their rich knowledge of tax laws and regulations, the cool thing is that tax attorneys play a vital role in helping their clients avoid or resolve disputes with tax authorities. So I'm speaking about several types of cases. Okay, you have estate planning and transfers. You have property acquisitions. You have starting a business. You have business transactions. Okay, so that's an important element to think about. And tax attorneys also can advise on tax relief programs such as installment agreements, offers in compromise OICs, okay, but also penalty abatements. So if you think about being a tax lawyer right now, or you're thinking about switching careers, you need to understand that tax lawyers actually have 4 main categories of skills. Okay, at least the skills required of a tax attorney revolve around conducting research, understanding tax laws, problem solving, right, and technical skills. You have to understand that tax attorneys require a detailed understanding of federal, state, and local tax laws, not just federal and state. Okay, you have a third level, which is the local tax laws. And so this knowledge should include familiarity with tax codes, regulations, and tax related court cases, okay? What the court has decided and how this can be applicable to your situation. So when I say conducting research, for instance, you need to understand that a tax lawyer should be able to research the latest regulations and frameworks before providing clients with accurate, clear advice. This requires strong attention to detail and an ability to sift through large amounts of information. The lawyer should also be able to understand tax laws because you probably understand that tax laws often change, right? So learning about the relevant rules and regulations is not a set and forget it activity, right? This thing is changing all the time. This is a moving target, so you have to really move with it. So even the most experienced tax attorneys must stay up to date with the latest changes in their jurisdiction. Otherwise, they'll be really toast big time, okay? And problem solving is also important because, clients often come to tax attorneys with complex issues that require creative solutions. Creative solutions in the sense that it has to be creative, but it has to be compliant with the law, okay? So consequently, tax attorneys need to be able to think outside the box, develop and implement novel strategies, and explain outcomes clearly and concisely to clients. And also, when I say technical skills, you as a tax attorney, you got to possess excellent tax skills, including proficiency in legal practice management software. So having a legal practice management software that provides you with the ability to manage your clients' trust accounts, for instance, is crucial for a streamlined day to day, and that's what you want. So, in conclusion to this conversation, I shared with you the law of success for tax lawyers. I gave you the overview, the extras, and now the conclusion. Thank you so much. God bless you. I will see you next time. Until then, remember, stay marvelous.